Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Shintaro Higashi Show. Peter's back.
We're back. We're back. Yeah.
I made a joke a couple weeks ago. We did a couple of solo episodes because Peter was out bougieing it up on the yacht or something or wherever the hell he's doing, playing golf with his business friends and such. So he was just kind of too busy for me to do the show. So I was kind of hurt. So I was like, you know what? We had a little beef. I'm going to do a solo episode. And people were like, oh my God. Like, people were sending me suggestions for co-hosts. I swear to God.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
one guy was like, get Vinny Mancuso back on there.
oh God, I see.
I heard that
see.
one.
Well, guys, I'm not going anywhere. He's there was no beef. The beef was in Shintaro's personal stuff. Yeah, I think the way it was phrased, it sounded like, oh man, did we have a disagreement or anything? But nothing. We've been friends. We've been best friends for so long, and we all open communication here.
Timeline issues sometimes, like you had like a wedding on a yacht somewhere.
Right.
You're doing bougie white tie stuff. You know what I mean? Peter's like, he's up there, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we both have busy schedules, so sometimes it doesn't line up, and then I had to ask Shintaro to fill me in. But it's all good. We're back. We're back
here today.
Yeah.
We're here.
So what are we talking
about? A
today?
guest.
Yeah. Guests.
Like, we had some unbelievable guests from Japan. We have guests at my dojo all the time. And if you're a guest not from like living in New York, New Jersey, you're flying through New York City, you're coming to the dojo, pay a drop-in fee. Seriously. We're going to do a meet and greet package because these people take up so much of my time when they visit. Hey, what's going on? And like I have people who are there that live in New York, New Jersey doing trial class who are trying to like ask me questions how to sign up. And these people are latched onto me as I'm going to start doing like a meet and greet package or something.
You can kind of round them up together, and you can come on this day, and then you like a lead a class, like all them, right?
Sometimes,
yeah.
Last week we had a night where we had 4 visitors, seriously, from everywhere. We had one from London, Ecuador, another one from South America, and they were all like, "Oh my God!" and they were like asking me questions.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like, I still have to run my regular class. They all want to work out with me. I'm like, I don't want to work out with you.
Oh, celebrity here.
I know, it's a little bit of a celebrity hood, and it's not getting out of hand, and I want people to come.
Yeah.
Right?
But, you're at a reasonable, like, setting, right? And
no, I'm not trying to discourage anyone from coming. Just be respectful. Right?
And you wanted to talk specifically about these guests from Japan. I think there were a lot of videos about them. They were incredible at judo. You check them out, guys, on Instagram and YouTube. Yeah.
And so this is the nice thing about having that Instagram reach. It's like, hey guys, special guest tonight, whatever it is, and I could tag them. So if you reach out to me ahead of time and you have the pedigree, I will definitely do that for you also. Yeah. It gets our people riled up. It's a very nice thing.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of visibility out in the world. So it's a nice thing. Yeah. It's a nice thing.
Yeah. So tell us about how they came to visit, like from the beginning. Like, how did they reach out to you? Who are they? Yeah. Let's start from there.
Shunsuke is a guy that's done judo his whole life. He went to Keio High School, Keio University, was a professional judoka in Japan.
Oh, damn.
He moved here to start a resort.
A resort?
Because his father and his family has like this resort thing in Japan. Like an onsen hot springs resort. So he came to New York.
Like a ryokan kind of deal.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. So he came to New York to get an MBA from Columbia University.
Oh, man. Smart guy, huh?
Yeah. Smart guy.
Yeah.
And then he wants to start a spa in New York City. So he's been living here for a little while.
He wants to start a ryokan in New York, like the traditional Japanese hotel.
In Manhattan.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
So he's been in New York for like 4 years, 3 years. And he dips into the dojo every 3 or 4 months.
Oh, he does come from time to time. Okay.
Time to time. Shunsuke, he does. He's an awesome guy, right? He's a cool guy. I love him. Great judo, nice guy, smart guy. He has connections from his Keio High School University days, right? And then when Ryutaro Goto, who was the junior world champion, that he came through him because they went to high school together.
Yeah.
And then also this time around, his friend Gunji, who was a 2-time All Japan competitor. He qualified for the All Japan Championships.
Yeah, that's probably
the weight
that's probably harder than like the Olympics to get qualified. Yeah.
I mean, maybe not the Olympics, but it's very, very difficult. And I'm going to talk about like what that actually means and what that skills level is represented.
Oh yeah, maybe I don't have the reference point. Yeah, so tell us. But
they're best buds from high school. So now he's in New York for 3 years. This guy,
Gunji.
Gunji.
Okay.
Because his wife got a job here, and he like came with his wife.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So Shunsuke was like, yo, can I bring my friend? And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about his judo because it was
Yeah.
like unbelievable. He said some things that were spectacular and off the beaten path that, you know,
so
I want to talk about that.
We have 3 guests: Shunsuke, Gunji, and Ryosuke.
No, Ryutaro. That was another time. He came like 5 months ago.
So it was just like Shunsuke and
Gunji.
Yeah. Shinsuke and Gunji. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
to give you a reference of how good this guy actually is, right?
Gunji.
He qualified for the All Japan Championships in the Open division. So there's one All Japan Championships that is like the All Japan Championships.
No weight class, right?
No weight classes. Shohei Ono competed, lost second round to the 90 kilo guy. Like, it's just like an unbelievable high level thing.
What's his weight usually?
He's about 250.
250. Oh, so he's a heavy. He's 100 plus. Yeah.
Yeah, 100 plus.
Yeah.
Because it's open division.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It was like a big, to give you guys some sense, like it was a huge deal when Inoue Kosei won All Japan as an under 100 kilo player.
That's right.
That was like a huge thing. Yeah.
90 kilo guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Kato from Kokushikan won it as 90. So it's been done, but it's very rare that anyone below that. You know, it's always a 100 plus guy generally. Yeah. Anyway, he qualified through the qualifiers of Kyushu, which is the southern part of Japan. So Japan has got Kyushu, the mainland,
Honshu,
the northern area,
Hokkaido,
and this island that no one really cares about. You know?
Shikoku, Honshu, Kyushu.
So it's like all of the south, essentially.
Yeah.
Kyushu. And they're known for their judo. They're also known for their ramen. So he won that and then qualified through that twice.
Yeah. Gosh.
So if you look at that, right, and then the skill level to be able to do that in a country like Japan, you're probably on a given day, like, can medal at world championships, I feel like. That's kind of the
like if you have
guys who are that level
Yeah.
That, you know, are sometimes like make it through at these Grand Slams or the high international world tour events. No one's ever heard of these guys. They just walk on and then win and beat Olympic medalists, world medalists. So he's at that level.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah. So he came. And when he started warming up, I was like, today is the day that I'm going to get smoked in front of everyone. I literally thought that. And you know, last time this Shunsuke brought another dude, he was a junior world champ former in my category. So I thought I was for certain I was going to get smoked.
Yeah. And,
But I didn't.
Oh, good.
There's a video of me throwing a Ouchi-Uchimata. It was beautiful. It's on my
Instagram. Yeah. You put him like kind of near the wall, and then you launched him in the air, right?
Yeah. I felt so good.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I was so nervous too.
Were you nervous this time? More nervous?
I was like, because he's much bigger than me too. I'm
about
200 pounds right now.
Right.
This guy legitimately has 50 pounds on me. You know, he's big, he's fast, he's good. And he was doing some grip fighting stuff with Gianni, who's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely top of the country.
Gianni, yeah.
Gianni, like, top 10 in the nation. You know, in the U.S., he's one of the best guys in his category always. Yeah. And this guy made Gianni just gripping.
Just gripping. That's like...
made him look like a baby. Yeah.
Dang. I've gone with Gianni too. I mean, he's really good. And I just can't even believe it.
And I was like, oh boy, this guy is going to slam me.
If your dad had been there, he would have called you a little chicken. It's like, why aren't you going with him? Why aren't you going with him?
No. I mean, but this is the thing. He's like showing his techniques, this and that. Does a little Newaza, warms up, and then it gets time to randori, and he goes, Sensei. I was like, yeah. He goes, I had 2 ACL surgeries.
Oh, damn.
He goes, I'm not doing randori. And I was like, thank freaking God. I was like, thank you. Oh, I'm like, good. Just chill out. You don't want to injure your knee. You know, who knows how stable it is.
That's too bad. That's so bad. Oh, man.
I really wanted to work out with you, but, you know, just sit on the side and hang out, okay? But,
oh, man. Okay, I see. So that's how it went. Unfortunately, you didn't get to show off your skills against him. But
no, I mean, I say this, but I really did want to also work out with him.
I mean,
I've been very sparing on the randori the last, like, month or so.
Oh, why is that?
I dislocated my pinky.
Oh, okay.
And then I've been doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and focusing on alignment. I've been working with a business advisor, this guy, Artie. He's amazing.
Yeah.
I've been really focused on that side of things as opposed to, like, training all the time and just grappling, lifting weights, and just kind of letting the businesses run on autopilot. I'm really trying to focus my attention back on sort of the business side of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so he's been a tremendous help. He's probably listening.
Yeah. Good.
So,
yeah, thanks, Artie. Yeah, he's been helping me out with like podcast stuff. Because I don't know. We just started it.
Yeah.
Without knowing anything, it's like a side hobby. But he's really trying to get us to become more professional. So
yes, yeah. So anyway, I haven't been doing too much randori, but he taught some stuff.
Yeah. So what did he show?
So initially, I'm like, can you just show us your Uchimata? And he's like, okay. And then he's like looking around, and he's like, can't really speak. He's like, I gotta go like this, and you gotta go like that.
Yeah.
And then you stick the leg in between, and everyone's sitting there like,
that's the basic stuff.
No, like, And then someone asks a question. He's like, well, you like, I was like, just throw him once or twice.
Yeah.
Boom. Right. And everyone's like, oh my God, you're going nuts.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, can you show us how you did that? And he's like, well, you take the hand like this, and you take the hand like that. And then it's like, all right, guys, just drill for a little bit. And then I pull him aside. I'm like, hey, I watch you grip fighting. The way you went right side versus left side, keeping that sleeve hand and not letting the guy get the sleeve hand. Talk about that. Talk about why you accepted that collar hand right side versus left side. It's very specific stuff.
Because Gianni is lefty, and he's righty.
Yeah. Yes.
And then
we had a bunch of lefties in the room already. Right?
And then he just accepted the collar grip from like the inside collar grip.
No, he would accept. So he would take the collar, and then he would keep away with the sleeve, and then accept the hand on the. So he would accept double collar.
Oh, from the lefty. Yeah.
Yes. So then
does he go outside then?
He goes outside, inside both.
Oh, okay.
But he was very good at it. And then sometimes when they wouldn't bite, he would reach and grab that sleeve and keep it in a way where you couldn't regrip the sleeve. And I teach it all the time. Keeping the sleeve tight, using your thumb to lever. And there's always no space. I'm always like talking about doubling up on that grip. Folding that sleeve, doubling so there's no space in the sleeve. Taking the slack out. And using a meaningful sleeve grip.
Yeah.
He did the opposite.
Oh.
It was so loose.
Oh.
So I was like, yo, what is that? And I like just had a conversation with him in Japanese.
Yeah.
He's like, well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Right? And he gave me this long, drawn out thing. And we're just having a conversation. And I was like, okay, mate, guys. Everyone come inside. I was like, say that, teach that, and I'll translate it in English.
Yeah.
Just teach it to me in Japanese. Again, exactly how you just said it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right.
Yeah.
Inside position, outside position. I put the pressure like this. Usually people don't like to put the elbow in, but I put the pressure down. I slide the lapel down, and then I keep the hand away. And then when they punch that sleeve into the lapel, I catch it and I push it against my chest. And then I roll it to bring that hand down. And now I'm in a 60-40 position.
Oh, man. I wish I had been there, man.
And then I go, do you cut that hand off from there?
Yeah.
He goes, no. Because I'd rather be 60-40 winning position than 100-0.
Oh, why is that?
Because when I cut that hand off, when I have two hands on, when he has one hand on,
he gets too defensive.
I'm fully offensive. He's fully defensive. Now the onus is on me to create movement. Or he forces a bailout attack. Yeah. And now I have to transition Newaza, and the opportunity is lost. And he almost always has one or two of those shots.
I see. So
and I don't want to prevent that. I want to prevent that.
So he wants to give his opponent some like false sense of safety almost.
Yeah. So he goes, I don't want to be fully dominant. I don't like trying to throw a guy that's fully defensive. It's very difficult. It's very annoying. It's hard to create movement.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, that's really interesting. Mind you, he's 250 pounds.
Yeah. So you can kind of take that. Yeah.
Of course he's going to be, if he's in 60-40 position with me.
There's no.
It's very, very unfair, right? Because, you know what I mean? So when you reverse it, when I'm going against him, me being in dominant 60-40 against him doesn't overcome the weight and the size difference.
Yeah.
So you got to take this kind of advice with a grain of salt, I think. But I liked it that he goes 60-40, 70-30, there's a sweet spot range. And then sometimes when they feel too threatened, because you're gaining more advantage, 80-20, the more they get defensive, the more they're going to get locked in. And then the more you have to sort of retreat and let them gain some position.
That's such an interesting point, dude.
He's like, I want them in this zone specifically.
Yeah. Dude, what a nugget of wisdom.
Right? How interesting!
What
is
a
that?
golden nugget of wisdom! Like holy shit, you know, like now I think back, like I think I've kind of like thought about it in passing, like cause yeah, if you're too dominant, they just flop down.
Yeah, they flop.
Yeah,
Well,
and you're right. It's like really hard to create movement when they're like just sitting on their butt, you know, like.
Yeah.
That's
but
so
he's like,
crazy.
if you give him a little bit of hope, you know, and he goes, sometimes the advance is just a little bit skewed, right?
Yeah.
To where they don't really know that they're in trouble yet.
Guys, so the caveat is that I feel like this is like for once you get into the groove of doing randori, like I think this type of advice may not be too appropriate for beginners. Would you say that?
Yeah, no, the beginners had no idea what I was talking about. We were talking about.
Yeah.
They're just standing there like, this guy's so big.
Yeah.
When is he gonna show us that Ouchi-Uchimata?
It was clean.
Yeah,
It's the videos on the Instagram, guys, by the way, right?
They're like, can you throw him again?
Yeah.
That's all they got out of that. But our brown belts, green belts, like our intermediates were like,
oh my god,
mind's blown.
Yeah.
And then
my mind's blown. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the sleeve stuff.
Yeah.
The sleeve stuff.
The loose sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes, sometimes they're just not engaging.
Yeah.
Lapel, opposite Kenkai to right versus left. By the way, if you're listening and you haven't followed or subscribed to this podcast, go immediately do it.
Oh yeah. Oh, and then let's do the sponsor.
Yes. Immediately subscribe, guys, right now.
Yeah.
And then thank you so much to our sponsors, Jason, Levon, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Judo TV, discount code Shintaro, right? You can watch all the best world tour stuff. And then HigashiBrand.com for all grappling gear merch. We have belts now.
Let me see. What? Belts?
Here's it. We're doing belts. See this?
Oh, holy shit. Okay.
On the other side, we have this thing.
Uh-huh.
I did this thing, right? Yellow, orange, all the way up to yellow, orange, green. It's soft. Because they're not good at tying their belts yet.
Oh, okay.
So it's very soft. It's very easy to tie. It never comes off. So you can just kind of like wrap it, tighten it. It's soft. There's no commitment. You know, it doesn't fall off. It's not a thing. It's almost like a handicap belt. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, and then when you get to, I can't remember if it was green or blue, intermediate ranks, you get the thicker, stronger, to where you have to tie the belt properly in the traditional way. Yeah. Or it won't stay on.
That's the soft touch only a grappler designer.
That's right.
Can implement.
Yeah. You too can be a Shintaro Higashi black belt now with this. You don't even have to do Judo. You just buy it.
Do you do like embroidery yourself? Like
well, no, I put the name.
Well, I mean, like
Pakistan's doing it.
Okay, so we can ask for like, all the characters.
Customizable? No, I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Oh,
you gotta take it to an embroider.
Oh, okay. So no
there's embroidery
on
it with the Higashi logo. Okay. It's a Higashi brand belt.
But if you want to put your name on it, for now you gotta do it yourself. Yeah.
Thanks for shitting on my product.
No, I'm just
now there is beef.
No. This beef will be it's for constructive criticism. Yeah.
Thanks, Judo. All right.
Okay, so
we're talking about sleeve stuff.
Yeah. So now the soft sleeve. What happened?
So I teach a way, right, where it's like you grab the wrist and then you clip the bottom of the sleeve and you collect the sleeve and you double up. So there's no slack in the gi whatsoever. Yeah. And that's sort of semi-traditional. Yeah. Right. Not in a competitive way, because this is like modern high-level judo that's not explicitly taught. Every single high-level judo guy on the international circuit who is successful does this kind of thing already. It's never really taught. It's something that people just kind of little by little pick up over the years. You work out with Nicholas Gill. You work out with anybody who's the top of the world judoka. They know how to do it well. Yeah. But they grab your sleeve and you can't grab theirs. Yeah. Right. So what he's doing is trying to get to the 60-40 thing with the baiting for them to get double collar. Yeah. And when they're just completely disengaging, how to get the sleeve, right? Yeah. So he'll reach and then just catch it, just very loosely. And he goes, the moment you start collecting and regripping and then tightening, they go immediately berserk.
Oh, because they're like threatened. They're
threatened. They don't want you to do those things.
Yeah.
Especially high-level judo guy knows when they grab a certain sleeve, they're like, oh, shoot, this guy. I told you the story about my father.
Yeah.
Grip up with me.
Yeah.
And then I'll grip with him and be like, amateur. Right? For years and years.
Right.
Because he was trying to see like how I was mechanically grabbing the gi.
Yeah.
And he would make it this thing like it's chi or it's energy or whatever. It wasn't. It's purely mechanical. You know what I mean?
But you guys probably know, like, if you've done grappling for a long time, as soon as you tie up when you're wrestling, or like as soon as you take the grip in BJJ or judo, you just kind of feel how good they are. Yeah, like, you can kind of tell. Yeah.
So he snatches the top of the sleeve, and it's extremely loose.
Yeah.
Right. So what he goes, there's only two options.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to rip away.
Yeah.
Or regrip the sleeve.
Yeah.
Rip away as they're yanking their elbow. You follow it loosely.
Yeah.
Right. While you're shelving the hand to create a frame on that inside collar.
Yeah.
And then when their arm cannot retreat anymore, that's when you regrip into a tighter sleeve grip. Or that's when you retreat this hand and pull it back in.
Yeah.
He goes, he doesn't tighten it majority of the time. He keeps it loose. And every time they go to re-grab the sleeve, he'll flick the hand down or flick the hand out to make sure that the knuckles are facing his wrist so the person cannot re-grip the sleeve. And because it's loose, there's a lot of movement when they're trying to catch and re-grab the sleeve. And that's the timing when he could yank the arm up and then go for a big turn throw.
Oh, dude, that's
because their arm needs to be loose to create the movement in order to try to re-grab the sleeve.
Dude, that's some advanced stuff, man. I don't even know a lot of us can really implement that.
He did that. He did it to where it's like I was watching him gripping.
Yeah.
And there were guys who did grip fighting with him for 3 minutes, didn't touch the sleeve once.
Oh, because he keeps it loose and then like move, like almost like water, huh?
Just he's like flicking it, moving it around while monitoring the other hand. And then every now and then he'll be doing that, and then he'll cut this inside lapel hand. If he's on the inside, he'll like shove the shoulder in, rip the hand, and then so now all of a sudden you have no hands on the gi. And he's clearing the arm to the inside.
Yeah.
You have no hands on, he has two hands on, and he'll slip that leg in for Ouchi-Uchimata.
So I'm gonna try to do this next time.
It was very masterful, and it was like unbelievable that a heavyweight was doing that. Man. But it went against all the rules of like,
I know, it's
this is a meaningful sleeve grip.
Yeah.
Which was like kind of blew my mind. So some of these things that I was able to extract out of him, it was like pulling teeth. Because in the beginning, he was like, what do you want me to show? Like a throw?
Because he's never really taught judo.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then so that was extremely valuable.
Yeah.
You know, and then we did like a Q&A sort of a thing at the end. And then the guys would tell me, and I would prompt them initially. So it was like the questions that I may naturally come, like, yo. But it wasn't like, what do you think about this? Can you show it? It was like, all right, let's fucking mess around here.
Yeah.
And I'm shelving the thing on. What is your go-to from here?
Yeah.
And then he'll do it a few times, and I'll be like, all right, this is what you're doing here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're not just throwing the elbow over, but there's a way that you're bending, putting outside pressure on my lead arm, right? He's like, well, I'm attacking the wrist first. I'm like, oh, how you doing that? He's like, well, the hand is positioned on this collar, so I want to pull this hand inward, angle my body, and then bring my shoulder to the outside. It's like a wrist lock. And once that's bent, then I shelf my forearm across the outside at this angle, you know? And now his arm is useless. That's when I go ahead and reach in and then clip that sleeve, and now you can't re-grip it because I'm flicking this hand around, and then that's when I throw Ouchi-Uchimata here. I was like, wow. You know? So that's a question that was asked by one of the students that I asked him beforehand, and then it was like, all right, Q&A, you asked that question. I asked him again. We already kind of rehearsed it, and now he's able to like give it to me in Japanese again, and I could translate it, and it looked like a very informative seminar-like fashion thing.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It really was great. And then we drilled it.
You're being a good moderator, because
that's my like special skill: translation and extracting judo knowledge out of people from Japan.
That's very valuable. That's a very big advantage, the fact that you can do that. Like, because like I said, we discussed this, right? Like, they don't really make instructionals.
They don't.
Yeah, why would they,
No. Yeah.
All this,
cool
like,
if I could make him make an instructional with me.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you should do, like, a tour in Japan and then just, like, have, like, Ono Shohei make a instructional with you.
Yeah.
Did he make one?
No, is it Uchimata or Hanegoshi?
Once and for all, yeah. Did you throw that French guy with the Hanegoshi or Uchimata?
Does it matter?
He'll be like, I don't even know. It looks the same to me.
It matters on Reddit. That's what it matters. On Instagram too.
Yeah.
Anyway, these are the kind of things that I love. When people join us and then they have something to share.
Yeah.
And then, I could provide a platform for them to be able to share it,
Yeah. Man, that's
if you have a high skill, you could come by.
Yeah.
Work out with us. It's a great thing. But, pay a drop and fee, do the right thing, don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Don't be weird. Don't be weird. That's
So, all right. So this was like a very informative visit, and this type of high level guys coming in from Japan, and they're they have like all this, like, the fact that they didn't really know how to explain it, and then you're like trying to extract it out of it. So, like, do you think they should learn to do this more, or like to teach better? Is that like you think that's like required? Like, because it's like, so it's a pity that this type of knowledge is lost. Like, how can we even like work on this here?
No, you can for sure. You gotta make sure your knowledge is up to date. You gotta be watching videos, doing stuff, always learning first and foremost yourself.
Yeah.
So when you see a guy like that, you could pinpoint exactly what's special about their skill and what's different.
Yeah.
And then when you have a dialogue with that person, it's like, all right, these are the different things that I'm doing now. You could immediately recognize it and then learn it and then reteach it, And then on Monday, that was on Monday.
Yeah.
And then we did the repeat of that kind of when he wasn't there on Wednesday. Like, I showed it again. And I asked some of the guys that were there, like, hey, what were all the things that you remember? And I made those guys show it, right? And now all of a sudden it's kind of embedded. And then today would have been the perfect day for us to like go do like a final, all right, this is what we've been working on all week. But today we have a leg lock seminar thing happening.
Oh,
at the
yeah,
dojo. With Renee Salza. So it's going to be a completely tangential thing that's going to be unrelated to anything we've been doing. But a lot of my lefties who have been working on sleeve catching and sleeve gripping and preventing the regrip, like those guys, got like so much out of it. Yeah. So now, we'll see if they could kind of make it their own. And it's my job now to kind of remind them, hey, remember that thing we did that other day? And then they've been working on it nonstop, but it's like, the way I show it too is still useful too.
Yeah.
That's also very good. Like, don't forget that. You got to go in between balls. Sometimes you catch it loose and you whipping it around, and sometimes you catch it, follow it, and then re-grip it and make it tight.
Yeah.
It's a very, very unique skill to be able to do. This has nothing to even do with throwing techniques.
Yeah.
It's more contextual, grip fighting, positional stuff, because the Japanese do extremely well.
Yeah. It's
so you gotta be knowledgeable yourself.
You have to absorb it the way in a way that will help you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. Well, anything else?
No, check out my belts and stuff, and that Peter's, the thing.
If you buy one, I'll embroider on it for you.
Don't say that. Now I'm going to hold you to it.
I know. I don't know how to do that.
Higashibrand.com. Please check it out. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening always. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast. Wherever platform that you're listening on. Follow it. And then, thank you very much for your support always.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.